Okay, just to take you through the inside of PAS, how this workflow would it is inside of PAS. The is a PAS workflow, not the project process workflow, but this is what happens inside of PAS. And so in each of those columns, you will see the people that are going to be involved in terms of the clicks and the processes in PAS. So the first box there is the initiator, and that's the project manager creates. And by the way, just before I move, currently this is done offline, but it's still going to be the same process, but currently done offline. But this is what happens in PAS. The project manager creates the project document in PAS and clicks submit. When he or she clicks submit, it goes to three people simultaneously. It goes to the PAG members, it goes to the PAG secretary, that's the PCO project cycle management team, and it goes to the core PMO all at the same time. And so each of them then take on the product and perform their own task. And at this point, the PAG members begins to review the product and provide their comments online. The PAG secretary begins to call for the meeting in collaboration with the project manager and the approving officer. The core PMO begins to perform the financial feasibility. Now, after the PAG is called and held, the project cycle management team, which is the PAG secretary, uploads the minutes of the meeting and then clicks send. Now, when he or she clicks send, the project document goes back to the initiator. And the objective is to allow the initiator, who is the project manager, to make edits when necessary. Because during the project management, the project technical review meeting, the PAG technical review meeting, colleagues would have made comments. They would have provided comments to support the enhancing of the document. And so that's why when the PAG secretary clicks send or uploads the minutes and clicks submit, it goes to the initiator, who is the project manager, to update. So now it's back in the project manager's inbox. He or she opens that and then makes the edits, makes the necessary review and adjustment, and submit for approval. So when he or she clicks submit for approval, it goes to the approving officer. Now, depending on the threshold, the system would automatically take it to the appropriate approving officer. So in now it's in the inbox of the approving officer. He or she reviews it and then clicks either an approve or a non-approval. And this is a no-go or a go decision point. Now, what is in PAS that has been integrated is that even for example, for the branch coordinators who only have up to $500,000 to review, they will still see all projects that are submitted in their branches. And so when the project goes back after the PAG meeting to the project manager, and when he or she clicks submit, it would first stop at the desk or the inbox of the relevant branch coordinator to see. And so he or she reviews and then clicks off now to the program divisional director. And he or she would have a space to provide comment uh, before sending off to the program division director, who would then give the approval. And this I'm talking about when the value is over. The same thing with the regional directors, where projects are over 3 million. The approving officer is the program division director. But when the initiator clicks submit for approval, it would first stop in the inbox of the regional director to review before sending off to the director PD. This is to ensure that a branch coordinator or a regional director has a full picture of projects that are being processed, that are being submitted for approval within their respective branch or region and are able to advise the director PD and the colleagues, the project manager, on how to further enhance or improve it. So depending on the decision of the approving officer, if the approving officer gives a go decision, this means that the project manager receives back again the project document to now finalize it. And this is to complete those fields that were not required at step 3, to update the project budget and project documents with any further comments or with changes that have just been revealed, or in case there is a change in the budget or change in scope after negotiation or final agreement with the donor that allows for that to happen. And so um, once the project, the approving officer clicks a go, it goes back to the manager to finalize. And then when the project manager, he or she now does what is necessary, update the implementation plan, the full product budget, and all necessary amendments or changes, and then now sends back again. And then it goes to now two people, who is now the core PMO. And now we're in step 6 of the process. So the previous was step 5. So now this is now the step 6, where he then sends back or she sends back, and then it goes to the core PMO for that final feasibility review. And then to the approving officer who gives that final click. And then the status of the project at this point changes inside of PAAS to show approved full product until the core PMO or MOD finance team sees the status approved full product. They're not going to be releasing the budget for the project. So there will be no project until step 6 is done, like I had said before. So this is a brief on the highlight of what is going to be happening inside of PAS. Um, so I hope it's clear, but of course, please do ask questions if it's not clear.